You ever meet someone who changes how you see life, without even trying? For me, it was a broke boy sitting at a bus stop, counting invisible money. Yeah, that's how it started. Just a kid, maybe 16, sitting there, pretending to count cash that didn't exist. And that moment, it changed the way I think about everything. It was early morning, freezing cold. I was on my way to work, waiting for my bus, tired, frustrated, like most people. And then I noticed this boy beside me. His jacket was too thin for the weather. His shoes had holes. His backpack was torn at the corner. But what really caught my eye was his hands. He kept putting his hand in his pocket, pulling it out and looking at his palm. Over and over. At first, I thought maybe he lost something. So I asked, "Hey, did you drop something?" He looked up, smiled a little and said, "No, sir. I'm just counting what I'm gonna have one day." I didn't get it at first. I thought he was joking. But then he started talking. He said he wanted to open a small food stand, something simple. Maybe grilled chicken, fried rice, street food, stuff people actually love. He told me he watched YouTube videos every night about cooking and small business ideas. He didn't have any money. No parents helping him. No one believing in him. But he said something I'll never forget. "I'm practicing now, so when I get real money, I'll know what to do with it." It sounded so innocent, almost childish. But the way he said it, so calm, so confident, it didn't feel like fantasy. It felt like faith. He wasn't counting what he had. He was counting what he believed he was going to have. And right there I realized something. Sometimes thinking big isn't about having big things. It's about believing big days past. I saw that same boy a few more times. Always with the same backpack, the same shoes, the same bright attitude. One morning he came running to the bus stop. He had a piece of paper in his hand. He showed it to me. It was a simple sketch of his dream food stand. A small wooden table, a grill, a sign that said "Tasty Spot." He said, "This is where I'm gonna work one day. I'm gonna feed people and make them smile." I asked how he was going to start. He shrugged and said, "I don't know yet, but I'll find a way. I just have to start." Then he said something that hit me hard. He said, "Sir, people say I should stop dreaming because I'm poor. But if I stop dreaming, I'll stay poor forever." That line stayed in my head for days. When you have nothing. A few months went by. Life got busy. Work, bills, routine, it all blurred together. I didn't see the boy anymore. Then one evening after work, I took a different route home. The street was crowded, full of smells, fried food, roasted corn, the usual city noise. And then I smelled something familiar. Grilled chicken. Spices. Garlic. I followed the smell and there it was, a small food stall by the corner. The sign said "Tasty Spot." I froze. Behind the counter was that same boy. Same backpack. But this time he wasn't counting invisible money. He was counting real cash. He looked up and recognized me instantly. "Told you I was practicing," he said with a big grin. I bought a plate of food just to support him. But when I took a bite, it was amazing. The food was actually good. Not just good for a kid. It was good. I asked him how he managed to start. He said he'd been saving coins from helping vendors at the market. Then, when he had just enough, he built the stand himself out of scrap wood and borrowed a small grill from a neighbor. No loans. No help. Just belief, work, and a dream. Then he tapped his head and said, "Everything starts here. I didn't have money, but I had this. That's enough." That moment hit me harder than anything I've read in a book or seen in a movie. I realized that while most of us wait for conditions to be perfect, people like him start with what they have. He didn't just think big, he believed big. And now, whenever I catch myself doubting, making excuses, or saying, "I can't," I remember that boy with empty pockets sitting at the bus stop, counting invisible money like it was already his. So if you're watching this and you feel like you have nothing, remember, every dream starts empty. You fill it with belief, patience, and action. Because sometimes, the richest people are just the ones who refuse to think small. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button. Drafted Mindset, where stories inspire you to think, grow, and believe bigger.